Why are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plans always perfect? Now obviously the answer would be it's Allah. Why else? But there is a logical explanation actually. As a human's plans are much different than Allah's plans would be. So when we look at every single prophet's stories, our role models, we will notice, once again, there's always a pattern. Allah's plans never make sense on the surface. That is what's so beautiful about Allah's plans. On the surface, they sound ridiculous. They make no sense. And the whole point, Allah only wants one thing from you, which is to trust Him. But He doesn't make His plans make sense from the very beginning. He just tells you to trust Him, which obviously makes it a lot more difficult, as it is a test to your faith. What you're required to do is basically trust in Allah's power to change it, even if it makes no sense, because it won't, by the way. It won't. That's what a lot of us don't understand. You won't see it make sense in the very beginning. It'll never make sense. That's the whole point. Because otherwise, it won't be much as a trust in Allah and more like, I trust you, but I can also see why that plan would work. Thus, eliminating the fact that it's just a test. Do you see what I mean? And no human can ever replicate this. Let's say a human came to you and gave you a plan and told you to trust them. Trust me, I know this plan is going to work. What are you always going to say regardless? Okay, I trust you, but can you at least explain why that plan is going to make sense? Why you believe it's going to make sense? And they'll have to explain their plan to you. Even if they don't explain it all the way, they will have to explain it. Because if they explain nothing, then they're going to say, well, why should I trust you then? Right? Exactly. But Allah's plan, He will never explain it in the beginning, because that would eliminate the point of the test, which is to trust Him and just to trust Him. Nothing else, no logic at all, just trust. Even if it makes no sense, which it won't. If you look at every single prophet's test with a plan that Allah came to them with, you will notice Allah only says one thing. Trust me, I will do this. That's it. Doesn't show them how He will do it, any of this, until the answer comes. Then He reveals what's been happening the entire time behind the scenes to show you His amazing plan that was going on. But that's the thing. Behind the scenes doesn't show you to your face what is going on. You don't know what's going on. You don't understand anything. It makes no sense. That's why no human can ever replicate this. That's why Allah's plans are always perfect. Because they're the perfect balance between a plan that obviously will work, but also a perfect test for you, that it will never make sense on the surface. No matter how many times you try to make sense of it, it won't. That's the point of it. So that's why it's perfect. Subhanallah. Let's just go with a bunch of examples to show you kind of what I mean. With Prophet Musa's mother, for example, what did Allah say? And just that. لا تخافي إنا ردوه إليك. Do not worry. We will certainly return him to you safely. That's it. Did Allah mention what He's going to do? Did Allah mention what's going on behind the scenes? Did He mention that the entire time He's going to fight Fir'aun and the magicians and throw his stick, turn into a snake, swallow them, blah, blah, blah? None of that. None of that. The mother has no idea. Even if she knows he's going to Fir'aun, that's it. That's all she knows. For all she knows, he could have died there. Do you see what I mean? On the surface, makes no sense. Because that's the point. It's about trusting Him. That's what Allah wants from you, and that is it. And yes, that makes it the most difficult. That is the point. It's a test. SubhanAllah. Will Allah show you things if you ask Him how He's going to do it? Yes, but not in the very beginning. Because Again, it would eliminate the point of the plan. But he would show you a little bit of tidbits of it. Yes, if you ask him to, he will. Like when Prophet Ibrahim asked him how to revive the dead, he showed him. When Prophet Uzair asked him how to revive a dead village, he showed him. Exactly. He'll show you. But you need to trust that he'll show you. But he won't show you the full plan in action. He'll show you tidbits of it. So you trust him, obviously. That's the whole point that he wants from you. Just trust him, which is obviously difficult. SubhanAllah. The Prophet Musa, the one who was able to communicate directly with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, did he know what was going on? Other than Allah told him to go to Fir'aun. That's it. Did he know he was going to face some magicians? No. Did he know he was going to face Fir'aun and his army and they were going to chase them? No. Again, because it would eliminate the point of the test, trusting Allah, even though Allah speaks to him verbally. And still, Allah only told him he's going to Fir'aun and just to trust him. So do you see what I mean? SubhanAllah. Did Allah tell him his stick is going to turn into a snake? No. You can find in the Quran, all Allah said is, throw your stick, do not worry. That's it. Did he tell him it's going to turn into a snake? No. He just told him, throw your stick. Because he was getting a little worried when a magician's sticks turned into snakes, but it was just an illusion, obviously. SubhanAllah. And then he was terrified when he saw his own stick turn into a huge snake that swallowed all of the other snakes of the magicians. So Allah told him to what? Don't worry, just pick up your stick and we will return it to what it once was. Well, pick up the snake and it'll turn to what it once was, which is the stick. SubhanAllah. See? The whole point of Allah's plans is trust. That's why they're perfect. Because on the surface, they'll never make sense, but also they're the perfect test for you. SubhanAllah. But a human will never replicate this, can never replicate this, because they will make sense on the surface. SubhanAllah. Every single prophet, when Allah told them to enter a village and to guide the people, did he tell them, there will be, keep in mind by the way, there will be non-believers there and they will not listen to your message? No. He just told them, trust me. Why? Signaling that there will be challenges along the way, but did not tell them what the challenges are, just warned them. SubhanAllah. Did Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam know that Yusuf alayhi salam was being adopted by the king, thrown in prison, seduced by his wife, well, almost seduced by his wife, or the women? None of that. Did he even know that he was thrown into a well by his brothers? No. Other than that his brothers hate him and will probably plot against him. Do you see what I mean? SubhanAllah. And did Prophet Yusuf know that Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, what was happening with him? That he was suffering from famine or any of this? Other than that potentially probably just, well, obviously crying about him? None of that. Do you see what I mean? Other than the fact that he probably knew he was blind, hence the fact that he said, take my clothes or something and rub it on his eyes and it'll return his vision. Did Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam's brothers know anything about what was going on with him? No. They just thought he was dead, or he's still in the well, or died in the well, or even if he got out of the well, he probably died along the way. See what I mean? SubhanAllah.